You know when two pieces of camera gear just complement each other perfectly? Well, today I think I might have just found that perfect combination. So welcome back to another video. I'm out here today with the OM1 Mark II and I've got two lenses here with me that I think could make the perfect wildlife and nature photography setup. The m.zuiko 50-200 f2.8, which I already own and absolutely love, and this, the m.zuiko 150-400 f4.5, which, to be honest, is pretty much my dream wildlife setup. But before we get going, I just want to say a quick thank you to OMSYSTEM for collaborating with me on this video and giving me the chance to spend some time with the 150-400. It's a lens I've always wanted to try, and I'm really excited to see how it performs out here today in some pretty changeable conditions, I'd say. One minute it's blue sky, the next it's raining. Now, rather than comparing one against the other, I really want to see how they work together, how they complement each other out in the field. So today I'll be sharing my thoughts on these two white lenses, but really the main goal here is to get out and focus on the photography and see what happens. There's some more blue sky coming, so I think it's going to be very, very changeable today. Anyway, let's get into it and see what we can find. So I've been walking for about an hour or so looking for oyster catchers this morning, a bird I've wanted to photograph for a very long time, and hopefully I'll be able to do that today. Now I've managed to find some on the shoreline here, but the issue I have is I've got about an hour until the tide reaches the rocks down there, which will block off my pathway back to the car. So yeah, bit of a tricky one today, but what I think I might do is just set myself up, wait for the tide to come in, which will hopefully push the birds further up the beach towards me, and then hopefully I can capture some images. So both of these lenses are part of OMSYSTEM's Pro line, which means not only are they optically superb, but they also are kind of built to handle the kind of rugged conditions that a lot of professional photographers demand. Now, both lenses and the OM1 Mark II have an IP53 weather sealed rating, which gives you a bit of peace of mind, I think, when you're out and about shooting in conditions like this, which is very changeable. Now, in terms of the focal length, the 50-200 gives you a 35mm equivalent field of view of 100-400 with a bright f2.8 aperture, and that's really great for things like birds in flight when you need those fast shutter speeds. Then there's the 150-400, which gives you a 35mm field of view of 300-800 with a constant f4.5 aperture. Again, nice and bright for such a long lens. But it's also got a really clever trick up its sleeve. It's got this little button here, which you can flip up, and that activates a 1.25 times teleconverter, taking the reach of this lens to a whopping 1000mm full frame equivalent, which is pretty long. And if that isn't enough, you can also add a 1.4 or 2 times teleconverter to each of these lenses, extending the reach even further. But of course you lose a little bit of light when you do that. But yeah, super versatile little setup here. So I've put a bin liner down here on the floor to try to keep my knees dry and also some of the sand off of the gear as well. And I've got my little Manfrotto tripod here, which I can actually splay the legs right out on, which allows me to get the camera really close down to the sand here, which is really good when you're shooting coastal birds. The lower you can get, sometimes the more separation you can get. So that's pretty cool. I'm currently at 400mm and I've activated the 1.25 times converter as well, which is just allowing me to get a bit closer to the birds. Yeah, that's that 1000mm full frame equivalent field of view. So yeah, at the minute I've got about, maybe 40 yards between myself and the birds.
because the tide's coming in, I'm hopeful that as the tide pushes up, the birds are going to get closer to me as well, which is really going to help me to get obviously closer and some more separation as well. So yeah, it's a bit of a waiting game, isn't it? Perseverance, patience will hopefully pay off, and no dog walkers will come along and ruin my chances of getting a good shot. So yeah, fingers crossed, it's just a waiting game.
So one of the things that really makes these two lenses a great combo is how many similarities that they share. So when you're shooting with them, the experience feels very consistent, and I think that's actually really, really important, especially for reactive photography like birds in flight. You know, you kind of build up muscle memory with your gear, don't you? So I think having two lenses that kind of handle in a similar way is a really big bonus. Both of these lenses zoom internally, so when you zoom them, yeah, it doesn't trombone, if you will. And I particularly like that for telephoto lenses, where they can protrude quite a lot sometimes, can't they? And obviously that really helps with the weather sealing as well. They also share a very similar layout as well in terms of the buttons. So you've got these function buttons along the top, and also a control panel here with things like your focus limiter, AF, MF buttons, IBIS buttons, and also some presets down here. They're not exactly identical, but the look and feel is very similar, and you soon get used to them when you're using them and switching between the two. They both also come with an Arca Swiss plate on the tripod mount here, which I think is fantastic. So you don't need to screw another plate on the bottom, and it also allows you to get access to your quarter thread should you wish to mount it on a little tripod like I had mine set up earlier, which I think is really cool. So yeah, they just work really, really well together, a really nicely matched combination. Yeah, the feel and function I think is fantastic, I have to say. So as you can probably tell, we did get a rain shower, got absolutely soaked, but, oh, there's an egret. Right, let's see if we can capture this. Wow, we just landed in a rock pool just up here. All right, let's get the 150 to 400 out. So it's just bobbing around in a rock pool there, keeps diving behind the rocks, but there's another one actually a bit further up the beach as well. So I think this might give us a really good opportunity to get a really close in shot. And yeah, I might just move around a little bit and see if I can get a different angle and maybe hopefully get a bit of nice light on him as well. Now the problem with photographing egrets is they've obviously got very, very white plumage. So when you do get the light on them, it's very, very difficult to keep your exposure right. But this camera's got highlight clipping warnings on it, which is really, really useful. So it's set up to blink orange when anything gets overexposed in the image, so you can quickly dial back your exposure compensation, which is really, really handy. Anyway, I'm going to concentrate on trying to get a couple of shots. So the rain has passed momentarily and the birds have flown off, which gives me a chance to say what I was going to say before we were rudely interrupted by the egret there. And that is this whole entire setup, the OM1 Mark II and the two white lenses, they only weigh about 4 kilos, which is amazing, to be honest, for the reach and diversity you're getting. I really don't feel like I've got a huge amount of weight on my back, which is absolutely fantastic. Especially the way I like to shoot, you know, I'm always on the go. I like to The egret has just passed me again. I'm always on the go. I'm looking for new places all of the time and just being reactive to the conditions and the opportunities that come along. So yeah, keeping the weight down is such a massive thing for me. Anyway, I think it's time to move on to a different location. I've got a real treat in store for us this evening. So the tide has pretty much flooded out all of the coastal areas where I've been shooting this morning. So I decided to come to this amazing woodland, which looks just absolutely beautiful. Obviously, the rain jacket is off. The weather is dried up a little bit, and I've switched over my lenses as well. I've now got the 50-200 f2.8 on. Because we'll be shooting in the woodland, it's going to be a bit more of a confined space. So if I see some wildlife, it's maybe likely to be a little bit nearer to me, which is good. And because light levels will be a little bit darker as well, that f2.8 aperture is going to help me there with the light as well. So that'll be really cool. But I'm actually looking for anything this afternoon, from fungi to woodland scenes to wildlife, really whatever presents itself to me on this walk. So yes, I'm really looking forward to it. This place is just magical, absolutely wonderful. And I think it was really nice to capture those shots of the egret there as well. Now what I was hoping for, I was hoping to get the other side of the egret so I had the coast behind it. However, they were a little bit wary of me, shall we say, and they wanted to keep in cover of the rocks there. So yeah, never really got on the right side of them. I think it would have been nice to get a much cleaner backdrop. However, yes, look at the sun. Amazing. It's drying off the clothes. Right, let's go and see what we can find. So I've been walking through this beautiful carpet of leaf litter here, which is absolutely amazing. Now, there's a lot of different trees in this area. We've got beech, birch, oak, a real mixture here. And this carpet is really thick. And this particular leaf just caught my eye because it's got a lot of raindrops on the underside of it. So I think it's a lot larger as well than the surrounding leaves. So it really stands out and makes a focal point of the image. I'm just hoping the wind's not going to blow it away. But yeah, I've been shooting this now handheld. I'm at f7.1 just because of the depth of field and I'm so close, 50mm. I'm at 1/8 of a second, but the image stabilization on this camera and lens combination is so good. I really don't need to use a tripod, and it just allows me to be a little bit more versatile as well with my composition. I can move around a little bit, reframe and compose. So yeah, a really nice mixture of leaves here, some wonderful textures and colours. Fantastic, I managed to get it before it got blown away. Anyway, let's go and see what else we can find. What a truly magical place. Ah, so good to be out. So I found this lovely vantage point looking across the coast here. It's a location I've shot before, but it actually looks over to the beach we were shooting the oyster catchers and egret on earlier, which I think is pretty cool. It kind of ties this little video together, doesn't it? Now, in case you're wondering about the bag and how the gear fits in my bag, because I guess that's quite important when you're out and about, well, I'll just show you how it all works. So in the top of the bag here, I've just got this e-cloth over it. I've got the big white in there, which just sits in there perfectly. I'll just wrap that over just to give it a bit of protection while I'm walking around. Let's just zip that up. And then if I flip the bag over and open this section here, you can see that the 50-200 and the OM1 Mark II with a grip on fits nicely in there. So yeah, this is a 40-litre pack, so it tucks away quite nicely, and I've still got plenty of room for my jacket and other accessories should I need them. Anyway, let's go and shoot this vantage point where the light is good, and then we'll move on and see if we can find something else. Now, I've been looking for fungi, but I just haven't found anything yet, which is a bit disappointing, but we'll carry on searching once we've taken this shot. So I've been on a fungi hunt for the last hour and a half or so. Found a little patch down here that's all dying off, and I think that seems to be the case in this area. We've had a bit of a cold snap recently, and I think it's just finished off the last few remaining fungi in the area. But I just wanted to say the 50-200 and the 150-400 white lenses from OMSYSTEM are absolutely fantastic. I would love to add the 150-400 to my kit bag at some point in the future. I think the combo just works so well together. You know, it's such a versatile focal range, and it allows you to capture everything from macro to nature, landscape, wildlife, pretty much everything. So it really is a fantastic combo to have in your kit bag, and like I mentioned before, fits quite easily in my 40-litre pack. Now, OMSYSTEM do have a few deals on at the minute. They have a cashback deal that runs right through until January the 6th, I believe. You can also apply for an extended 5-year warranty on your kit as well, which is absolutely fantastic. And also, if you're interested in either of the white lenses, there is a trip to Namibia that you can win if you purchase either of those lenses. So yeah, a trip of a lifetime. I think you'll all agree. Would love to go there someday myself. But yeah, please do go and check out the links in the video description if you're interested in any of the OM kit. I'm sure you'll get a great deal. But yeah, I do hope you enjoyed this week's video. If you did, please be sure to check out the one that's at the top here, and also the one on the other side in the end card. Anyway, take care and hope to see you again next week.